with customers. If they're recorded, that becomes unstructured data. It could be your chats, it could be your email conversations. All that is type of data that is currently sitting in your organization. Hopefully it is being tapped in some way or the other. Otherwise, I want to leave you with some ideas to do that. So, and this is a common message I always take to everybody that I speak with. So your AI journey is non-linear. I think the previous speaker hinted at this, right? There's so many different challenges with respect to data, and I was so glad to hear that you spoke before me. I think there was, thank you for doing that, because I think I can take a lot of those data and analytics terms and use them in my talk. So the AI journey is non-linear. So on the x-axis you have analytics maturity, and the y-axis you have your competitive advantage. And the idea is that you move from raw data in silos, which is typically the challenge that you have in insurance industries, then move them to a data warehouse. When I speak with, I've spoken with several dozens of insurance companies over the last year and a half, and what I see is many times the data from companies is sitting in different silos and it's not being integrated. So that's the first step that you have to take, put it all in one place so that everybody can access it. And then you can move on to basic reporting, which is being done perhaps in Excel. I've met with companies that give their executives 60 to 70 dashboards, right? And Excel spreadsheets which are, megabytes and megabytes big with dozens and dozens of charts. Half the time they don't make any sense, right? So you have to start thinking about how do you then develop business intelligence-based dashboards. So make it smarter, make it faster, make it more efficient, and let the executive use these dashboards. And then you move on to machine learning and predictive analytics. And many of you may be there already. And then you move on to the holy grail of artificial intelligence. So it's not a straightforward journey. Some of you may start at different points and then slowly get to AI-driven decision making, which is sort of the ultimate objective. And it's a buzzword these days, right? Everybody says they do AI. So if a startup comes to you saying they do AI, you have to ask them some key questions. Right? All right, so let's talk about how do you start to monetize structured data in insurance. And some of the common examples that come to mind, structured data, and we talked about this already. We have policy data, claims data, you have other transactional data, and you can do many things for monetizing your existing data. So like I said, my objective of today's talk is to give you ideas. Whether or not you work with Munich RE or a startup, these are all ideas that you can take back, saying how do I monetize existing data within your organization. So one is, of course, customer retention models. You can develop models for retaining your customers, mathematical and machine learning models. You can also divide your customers into smart segments and then do targeted marketing. You can also, of course, cross-sell and upsell between different segments of these. And I'm speaking with several insurers, and they always talk about how do I identify my most profitable customer? Who is this most profitable customer? You can then do what are called customer lifetime value models. And then, of course, customer lookalike models. If you want to attract new customers, do you want to attract the bad customers or the good customers? Obviously, the good ones, right? And how do you find these good customers? Unless you find the profitable ones in your existing database and then map it to customers outside who are supposed to be more profitable, you can bring them in. And then claims dashboards. Of course, if you have this already, that's a very powerful way to keep your loss ratios in check, to understand where your claims are being, how long your claims are being taken to process, and so on. Let's talk about monetizing unstructured data in insurance. And these are some of the sort of more recent applications for using AI and machine learning. How many of you collect unstructured data right now in your organizations? Show of hands. How many of you collect images? Okay, that's 2, 3, 4. Okay. And what do you do with these? Okay. Well, you can do all of this with images that you collect, right? If, let's say you have claims damages images, what do you do with this? Are you just collecting them so that claims assessors can look at them and review them? That's wonderful, but can you then have AI look at it instead of your claims assessors? Or support them in reviewing thousands and thousands of images to process this faster? That's what AI can help you with, right? I think the previous speaker also said, AI is not going to kill actuaries. In fact, there was a survey by McKinsey that said that actuaries are at the least risk of losing their jobs because of AI. Because they're the most equipped to actually pick up the new skills in AI and actually make your organization very powerful. Right? So let's talk about some of these examples. So we have, of course, automated claims processing from damaged images using AI, and this is something that several organizations are doing. Then you have voice to text translation and then analytics on that. And then you have OCR of claim forms and analytics. Again, the previous speaker set up the stage nicely for me. I should thank her again. This is a common challenge that you see everywhere. There are paper claim forms everywhere. What do you do with all of these? Right? You can do OCR and then feed them into a database and then do analytics on that. Right? There is technology. AI-driven OCR is actually very, very common. There's several vendors doing this. And once again, this goes to partnering. You don't have to reinvent or invent everything. In fact, OCR is probably a technology you definitely don't want to do by yourself. Right? You really want to get a vendor to do it for you. Right? And then you can get all this data into a structured database and then really perform some very cool analytics on this. This is something that we have done which really works well. Moving on to the other one which is coming up these days is predicting crop yield from satellite images using deep learning. For those of you interested in the agro space, this is something that is very common. How do you start using AI to predict crop yields based on deep learning techniques? And then of course using text analytics on loss descriptions of claim forms. These are common. And then of course using driver claims fraud detection using videos. Video is nothing but a sequence of images, right? So video is nothing fancy, it's just a collection of very quick images. So the same techniques can be applied on